What we are hearing and witnessing is kikuophobia. Other communities in this country can sit down and talk their matters. Nobody talks about it. The moment Kikuyus meet somewhere, everybody's already. These people, they are tribalists. We must run away from that. These Kikuyus are our brothers and sisters. They are in this country just as we, the Luyas, are there, and just as the Kalenjin and the rest are there. This is a fact. So let's deal with the reality and facts. Kikuyus are Kenyans. Fact number 2, they have the numbers to influence an election like no other community. That is a fact. Fact number 3, you look at our constitution demanding a president to get 24, at minimum of 24 counties out of 47. It is to address the fear that a community or two can gang up in much the same way Americans addressed in their constitution. Look at the 50% plus 1. It is to address the fact that 2 or 3 communities can gang up and rule this country forever. You can't run away from that. Americans didn't run away from it. They engineered their constitution to address that. Look, even before the new constitution, Moi had introduced it, at least 25% in I don't know how many counties, to address that. So you cannot run away from it. Number 2, this idea of bastardizing Gachagua, I find it very distasteful. Gachagua is as Kenyan as Manyora and as Kenyan as any other person. The constitution is clear of who is qualified to run for president. So if Gachagua, having cleared his issues surrounding his impeachment, is able to run, don't disparage him. Don't say bad things about him. Just deny him your vote. That's all. And if you feel the Kikuyus and the Gema community don't have the numbers to produce a president, don't create narratives. Just mobilize those other votes you think you have and let them defeat the Gema community with whoever they are partnering with. But 2 things I want to finish by telling those who are closing their eyes. And this again is a fact and this is the truth. Gachagua is a powerful politician. You can say what you want, but the way he has been able to mobilize and unite the mountain is not an easy task, and he has done it successfully. Lazima utamvulia kofia. He's a tough politician. He knows how to inject. That's one fact. Secondly, and this is another fact, the Kikuyu or Gema community, having the numbers they have, if they were to pair with another community, like the Luya, for example, they are no longer just one community in the way in which some people are saying. They already have numbers to frighten any competitor. Not to say they will win, but they have such a serious numbers in that combination that already the 2 communities, plus sampling of here and picking small, can win the presidency. But the bottom line, and what I want us to take home is that we are all Kenyans. Let us mobilize. Let us not talk about some people being tribal. Indeed, most of us are tribal. It's something we want to work on as Kenyans. How do we live in a country where we are all Kenyans? We can compete but remain Kenyans. But the narrative of these bashing Kikuyus, one community, I was there old enough to see where this narrative almost took this country in 2007. Please let us not go there. Let us just mobilize, but let us not demonize any community for whatever it takes. The conversation around the rigging through voter registration and voter listing, even Raila mentioned, and he went to a polling station in Lavington and he tried to do something. I did the same at the University of Nairobi when they were doing the voter listing. And I can assure you, it is true that there were people in the voter register who didn't have IDs. That I can. And I went to IBC, Anniversary Towers, with my friend, the late Habwe, to tell them what we had seen. If they can be sincere, they will say we went. They are no longer there. They have left the commission. So the voter register is critically important. And if there's anything we can do to have it fresh, even if not for this election, but for the next election of 2032. Now, I was saying that the mountain carries very significant votes. I don't think there's another region with that number of votes. And it will always play a very key role in the outcome of a presidential election. Now, what we have been treated to is a mountain that is not happy with the president. There is a lot of anger, a lot of hatred towards the president from the mountain. They feel betrayed, or they have been told they have been betrayed, whichever the case may be. Now, the bar, it was not always true that the entire mountain had departed from Ruto. In fact, I remember interacting with Eric G and Jose Manyora, you are wrong. What had I said? I had said, in my view, Ruto will get more votes from Mount Kenya than he will get from Luo-Nyanza. How many people have attacked me for that? What I was trying to say, that much as there is a general anger against Ruto, there are still pockets of votes within the region for him. Now, the coming together of Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua, if our reading is correct, then seals the fate for William Ruto in the mountain. Because it unites the mountain in a way Rigathi Gachagua was not going to achieve. He could have gotten to 80, 75, 70%. But there was going to be sapping and sipping. That Ruto was going to get some more votes, almost 1 million votes from Mount Kenya. But if Uhuru Kenyatta joins hands with Rigathi Gachagua, and we assume this will extend to the selection of the presidential flag bearer for the opposition, because they can unite now, and then as we move towards identifying the person to carry the flag for the opposition, then they read from different scripts. For example, Uhuru may then say, it's good, we have united, we are one, but we must achieve what we want through Matiang'i. And the Gachagua says, no, we can only achieve this through Kalonzo. If that doesn't happen, if on top of this unity we are seeing, they are able to agree on whoever it is the opposition will be putting forward as the presidential flag bearer, then I find it something that's going to hit Ruto, being something that will hit Ruto fairly badly. It doesn't mean he will lose the election, but wherever he will be sitting when the elections results are out, either celebrating the victory or licking his wounds, I can assure you, and I'm sure that he will be thinking of Mount Kenya.